My name is Matthew Clay, and today I will be talking about who has inspired me and taught me the most lessons in my life. And I would have to say that person would be Coach Randall, my high school basketball coach. Um, the two most important lessons that I think he taught me was to be a hard worker and to never give up on anything you do in your life. To never give up. The first example that comes to my head about hard worker is I was in eighth grade and it was we had a junior high game, and after the game, we go to the locker room and Coach Randall, he comes in there and he's talking to us and he says the hardest workers is the ones who play. And I kind of took what he said and I realized, you know, whoever works the hardest is gonna, play for him. So I would work as hard as I could. I'd practice whenever we didn't have practice. I would practice on the weekends or after school. Whenever I had the chance, I would practice. And that finally paid off because I, whenever I got old enough where I could play for him, I played for him because I was one of his hardest workers. And another story about never giving up was probably when I was a senior in high school. And before the game, he was telling us, like we didn't really have a chance against the team. Nobody thought we'd win, and he was just encouraging us the whole time. And then it's a close game, and then in the third quarter, the other team starts kind of pulling away from us, and Coach Randall calls a timeout, brings us in the huddle, and he tells us that don't give up. Keep fighting back. Don't give up. Whatever you do, don't give up. And we finally catch back up to the other team in the fourth quarter, and it's still a close game. But we battled back, and we hit a buzzer beater to win the game. And that just always taught me never to give up on anything. And the ways I've applied these lessons that he's taught me in basketball would be probably I apply never giving up in my schoolwork. So I'm taking macroeconomics, and when I first started in it, I was struggling and I didn't have good grades, and I didn't give up. I just never gave up. Just kept going with the grades. I kept trying to get better grades. I kept studying to try to get better grades, and I eventually ended the class with a high B. And that just shows you that you should never give up on anything. Even if you don't think you can do it, just don't give up. And I think I've applied working hard in my life by at my job. So when I first started working at my job, I was the low man on the totem pole. I made the least out of everyone. I and the harder I worked, the more money I saw that I would make. So I would just force myself to be the hardest worker there. So he didn't have a choice but to give me a raise. And now I'm one of the higher paid people at the business because I've worked so hard. But that's the two things that I think Coach Randall he's always inspired me, but those are the two lessons that he's taught me and that will always be with me my whole life.